Destiny 2 was always gonna fail. Now, I know when you hear that, you might think, what is this guy talking about? You out of your mind. You're just trying to go for views. But no, hear me out. I'll give you some valid points. Now, I will say this. All of my points are coming from me. I'm a PlayStation player. So everything that I say will come to you, the viewer, as a PlayStation player's point of view. Now, when Destiny 2 became a free game, you had a wide range of emotions. Some people were upset while others were happy. But there was one thing that not a lot of people brought to attention right then and there. Destiny 2 was originally a free game. Well, it wasn't a free game originally. It was a pay game. You had to spend money for it. $60 precisely. So when that change happened, although on PC and Xbox you can already play it online without requiring an online subscription, for PlayStation you still needed that online subscription. So when that happened, that was a major FU to the people that bought it on PlayStation. And although it's kind of hard to find the sales for PlayStation users, we do know in the first 2 months the game sold well over 2 million. So let's just divide 2 million by 3, which is well over 600,000. So 600,000 players weren't compensated for what happened, and what the team that made this decision, it was going to happen regardless if the players had an opinion on it or not. Oh well, too bad, too sad. It happened, but we still were not compensated for that and still haven't been all these years later. Just like that, the team at Bungie made a decision that when they did this, they would give players 2 free DLCs. Those DLCs being released in the game's first year of being made, being Curse of Osiris and Warmind. It's important to note the fact that those came out during the game's first year, right? But everybody who got the game when it was free to play, when it first became free to play, they got that for free, meaning players were not compensated for that purchase that they've made for those DLCs beforehand. That would make 2 times that Bungie and Sony have made an executive decision not to give out any type of payout or resource to any players that bought the game. But don't worry, it doesn't stop there. As a third fuck you to their players on PlayStation, they made the group decision to get rid of the planets and the overall quest. So now you cannot find them. You can acquire the weapons from the DLC, but if you want to go back and play the story like you can for certain missions, you cannot. I don't know about you guys, but personally when I seen that, I viewed it as, hey, you all have made great and valid points about us needing to either refund you or give you something else, but instead we're going to take the high ground, the high road, and we're going to add another option. We're just going to get rid of it for everybody. You people were not mad enough for me. When you realize that this game was being bought out by the company that already owes their players 3 different types of compensation, you did nothing. You just stood there and applauded. You thought good things were going to happen, skipping over the fact that they have screwed us over 3 times, and you thought, oh, don't worry, this one deed will make up for those 3 times. What have they done? Instead, they've screwed us over a 4th time because the company is still going downhill. And I know some people won't truly understand unless I bring up time in this. By that I mean, that first DLC that came out, the Curse of Osiris, that was 2017, which means next year, that will be a 10-year-old DLC we still have not received compensation for. When 2018 hits, Warmind will happen, which will mean that is another 10 years that have passed in the oncoming year. So it'll be 9 years that we still have not received compensation for those DLCs. Now, a really big pet peeve of mine was when they started doing season passes. Now, at first, I didn't think too much of it. I thought it was going to be like all the other games at the time that did a season pass. Oh, we're just going to give you some skins, some cute little customization for your items and your character. Cool. But no, they took it a step further. You know how you had to purchase additional DLC for story? Well, no, that's not all. They made a season pass to where you have to buy that to get more story. Not a DLC, a season pass. you needed to buy an additional purchase just to be able to understand the lore. These people found a way to combine two things that should never be combined: the actual base game and their DLC, and a season pass is normally used for cosmetics. Why didn't you say anything back then? I was a kid, and by when I say I was a kid, I don't mean like, oh, I was like 18 or 19. No, I was born in '06, meaning in 2017 when this game originally came out, Destiny 2. I was 11. 2018 when Warmind came out, I was 12. And you can do the math per year of how old I got when this game came out. Right now I'm 20, so you can do the math on why I didn't necessarily say anything. I was a kid. I didn't know what to say. I thought it was just like, oh, something else is going on. And yeah, they would not have listened to me at the time. Obviously, a kid. But you know who they would have listened to? Their content creators. The people who are bringing in all the views for their game. Not only that, not just the small ones, not just the people who like averaging a few views. No, the big ones, they should have said something as well. It should not just be now when people are starting to realize, why does it take a game shutting down for its fan base and its players to realize, hey, we should have been trying to make this game better before it died. We should have tried way in the early stages when it was in its prime to actually make people like this game and for the players to get what they want. But hey, it had to come to an end. Something else could have happened, but it didn't, unfortunately. And with that being said, you might get a Destiny 3, you might not, but it's all in the hands of Sony now. Listen, I'm not making this video to say I hate Sony or to discourage you from playing any other game made by the company, but I do want you to realize that Sony has games that were supposed to come out years ago. I'm talking about when Unreal Engine 3 was still being used, and now the first test of Unreal Engine 6 has just started, and rumors about different companies making their own version of it is going around. Just keep that in mind. Alright, Sony as a company, you make great cameras and great TVs, but sometimes y'all get a little lost in the plot and forget that, hey, you do everything. That includes games that you've dropped trailers for from 2015 to I'd say about 22, that have gotten no news today. And I do want to apologize to the people who might be watching anything I do for the first time. Something you'll notice about me is I don't like to talk fast or slow. I like to get my thoughts in order while I'm speaking to you. So in the video, you might have noticed that, hey, I stopped talking for like a few seconds. It's because I really want to process things. I like to really think with my mind and put passion into what I'm saying. So especially when it comes to games that have been a part of my childhood and companies that have also played such a huge role. For example, I've been playing Destiny since the first game. I was a kid then, loved it. And Sony, I've loved Sony growing up, but they've started making huge and fundamental mistakes that might keep carrying on.